What will Dugu Mo, who possesses the poisonous body of calamity, do in the peerless world? First World. Peerless Tangmen keywords of the novel. Endangered poison body of all heavens with no pop-ups, complete collection download of Endangered poison body of all heavens txt, latest chapter reading of Endangered poison body of all heavens. Chapter 1. The Dugu family. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 1 The Dugu family Dolua continent, Heavenly Soul Empire, Heavenly Do City, Count Dugu's mansion. At dusk and sunset, the clouds were illuminated by the sunlight passing through the courtyard, coating them with a light golden hue. There was also a burst of light between the clouds like golden threads, and the flowing clouds also passed by Dugu mansion with the wind. To the north of the mansion, there is a delicate courtyard that is a bit deep. In the courtyard, there was only one boy lying on a lounge chair, looking at the sky. The boy's face showed maturity that was not suitable for his age. Alas, it has been 6 years since I traveled here. Tomorrow is the day when my martial soul awakens. I miss my previous life. Enjoying college life, just as I was reliving the battle and saw the success of the little Dr. Immortal's gathering poison pill, I inexplicably traveled through it. Time travel is fine, after all, handsome like me, cough cough. I thought I would travel to Dupo. When I arrived at Dolua continent and was still in the second installment, it was a bit late. Dugu Mo said with some frustration in his heart. This is the protagonist, who comes from the Dugu family. Yes, he is from the poison Dolua family of Doluai, who owns the ice and fire Liangi eyes. Now. Not anymore. Also, there is a small 7-colored hidden line on his lower abdomen, which has been present since birth. It is obvious that this is the calamity poison possessed by the little medical immortal. Unexpectedly, I also have this physique, which can be said to be both enjoyable and headache-inducing. Fortunately, there is almost no limit to the improvement of strength. The headache is that this physique is as dangerous as the martial soul of the Dugu family's azure scale snake emperor, and once it erupts. It's terrifying to think about. Not to mention the addition of blue scale snake emperor to the Ernan poison body. Remember that the Ernan poison body is a colorful line on the lower abdomen. It will grow with the concentration of toxicity contained in the body, and when the colorful lines extend to the heart position, it is the strongest moment of the Ernan poison body. At the same time, the owner will also suffer from the pain of 10,000 poisons devouring the body. Unless you don't activate this constitution, don't think about it. As the legitimate lineage of the Dugu family, the martial soul must be the blue scale snake. Even if it's not, it's related to the snake-like martial soul, and it will definitely be related to poison. After absorbing the soul ring, the calamity poison body will inevitably be activated. Sigh. There's no such thing as a strange fire in this world. Forget it, I'll see if I can absorb soul bones to solve it. Using soul bones to suppress poison, as long as it reaches level 100 in the later stage and becomes a god, it should be able to solve it. Alright, Dugu Mo, since we have started over, don't hesitate. At least we can quickly reach the realm of the title Dolua. Dugu Mo thought to himself. My background is good, and I am still a legitimate lineage. I have already surpassed many people. After thinking about it, I will return to my room and look forward to the awakening of my martial soul tomorrow. The next morning, Dugu Mo finished washing up under the care of several servants and then arrived at the entrance of the martial soul hall. Xiao Mo, you came so early. It's a big deal to awaken your martial soul. Back then, you and I stayed up all night. Alright, let's go in together. Dugu Xing pinched his son's face and said with satisfaction. Alright, stop teasing Xiaomo. Business matters, Minghan said with a smile as he watched the father and son play around. After Dugu Mo broke free from his father's clutches, he felt somewhat helpless. His father, Dugu Xing, was the current head of the Dugu family. He was 37 years old, with a martial soul of Jade Snake and a level 76, Soul Saint. My mother, Minghan, 36 years old, has an innate soul power of level 7, a martial soul Green Jade Ring, and a level 72, Auxiliary Soul Saint. That's right, my father is not the Blue Scale Snake martial soul, but his innate soul power is also at level 8, and his martial soul is also evolving towards a better side, so the damage to his body is not high. End of this chapter. Chapter 2. Martial Soul Awakening. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2 Martial Soul Awakening. Moreover, in the Dugu family, there is also the grandfather of the 89-level Azure Scale Snake martial soul, according to Dolua Continent. In his prime, the Heavenly Soul Empire was no longer the original Heavenly Do Empire, so the royal family also relied on the Dugu family to win many battles in the war. After all, the Dugu family has repeatedly proven the amazing achievements of the Blue Scale Snake martial soul in the war. Moreover, there are not many members of the Dugu family, so there is no need to worry too much about being coveted. Other sects and families are also unwilling to form enemies with the Dugu family. For so many years, they have also known that the lifespan of the Dugu family is a big issue. For example, hundreds of years ago, a Dugu family member caused trouble outside, and the other party underwent 7 years of hard work. As my own strength grew stronger, I wanted to retaliate and come back. However, after multiple inquiries, I found out that the person from the Dugu family had disappeared 4 years ago. This kind of thing has happened several times, and various forces have also tacitly remained silent. I understand everything, and now there are no major wars, and the Dugu family is also enjoying themselves and continuing to study the Blue Scale Snake martial soul. Dugu Xing's martial soul is a good direction, and outsiders may not know that his father's martial soul is not the Blue Scale Snake. Entering the hall, only Dugu Mo was the one who awakened his martial soul today. There were several children of the same age who had awakened 2 years ago. Oh, Xiaomua, come on, come on. Grandpa will personally awaken your martial soul for you, ha ha ha. Let's see if Xing Er's martial soul can be passed down. Dugu Dan smiled and said. After chatting with his grandfather for a while, he let Dugu Mo enter the formation, and then saw his grandfather Dugu Dan summoning his martial soul, and the Blue Scale Snake appeared behind Dugu Dan in an instant. Staring at Dugu Mo with his head tilted, Dugu Mo immediately felt a little scared and swallowed his saliva. After a while, he calmed down and nodded in satisfaction. Immediately injecting soul power into the formation gradually lit up, and golden dots floated out from the black stones on the formation, finally pouring into Dugu Mo's body. Dugu Mo's body shook a few times, and his right hand also extended, revealing a martial soul mark. Hiss, hiss. A faint snake cry came from behind Dugu Mo's body, and his gaze looked over. Discovered a slender blue-scaled snake emperor covered in emerald green, and also tilted his head to stare at Dugu Mo in front of him, then turned to Dugu. Dugu Dan was stunned for a moment before suddenly sensing a breath that was connected to his martial soul and bloodline. This is the Blue Scale Snake, isn't it? Is this the Blue Scale Snake Emperor? Dugu Dan and Dugu Mo's parents exchanged a glance, both shocked and shocked. Grandpa Dugu Dan murmured, how could that be? Xing Er's situation is a special case. The eldest grandson is a blue scale snake, the youngest grandson is also a blue scale snake, and he is also the Blue Scale Snake Emperor. Looking at Dugu Xing, I have some doubts whether he is my own son. Because Dugu Dan is very fond of this obedient grandson, after all, he has a great-grandson named by Li Snake Wu. There is no need to worry about the lack of family inheritance, so all I want is for Dugu Mo to live a happy life. Sigh. However, the situation has been settled and cannot be changed. When his grandparents were shocked, Dugu Mo felt another martial soul. Sigh. I think it's just a disaster poison body. There's no one else in this situation, my own lifespan. It won't be less. Moreover, what was that wonderful feeling just now? It seems to resonate with something. Ha ha ha, Shenhua, you are the martial soul of the blue-scaled snake emperor. Come and see how much your innate soul power is. Dugu Dan looked at his little grandson, and the sadness between his eyebrows disappeared in an instant. Then he laughed heartily and encouraged Dugu Mo. Dugu Mo came back to his senses and looked at all of this. It goes without saying that he was moved by the love that his family has shown him over the years. Dugu Mo will never forget it. After thinking about it, he tried to retrieve his martial soul with his mind. He had already learned this knowledge, and then Dugu Mo reached out his hand. Touch the crystal soul guide in front of you. Buzz. I saw it shining brightly, and then it displayed level 10 on top. End of this chapter. Chapter 3. Poison Pill. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 3 Poison Pill. This is innate full soul power. Ha ha ha, not bad, Shenhua, your talent is very strong, very strong. Xing Er, go teach Xiao Mo Ming how to think, and then take him to obtain a soul ring in a few days. Also, to the public, Xiao Mo's martial soul is called the Blue Scale Snake, with innate soul power of level 8. Do you understand? Dugu Dan said solemnly. Okay, father. Dugu Xing was also very excited. His two sons, one with innate soul power of level 7 and the other with innate full soul power, his genes are powerful. Looking at her husband's expression, Minghan knew he was having a mental breakdown. Judging from his proud appearance, he's probably thinking that his genes are so much better, isn't he? Well, that's also due to his age. Cough cough, thanks to his mother. Dugu Mo followed his parents to his courtyard and saw his father Dugu Xing, saying, Xiao Mo, you also know the dark thoughts of our Dugu family. The bi-scale technique is also divided into 3 parts. The first part is about using ordinary family talents. The second part is for use with innate soul power of level 6 or above. The third part is exclusively used by the blue-scaled snake emperor's martial soul, and these are all different, especially the third part, which is also an important inheritance of the family. After teaching the martial arts, seeing that Dugu Mo had no problem operating the martial arts route, he continued the previous topic. Son, you also know that there is a timeless body and soul bone in the family, but your grandfather has already used it. This inherited soul bone can perfectly transfer 80% of the toxins from the azure scale snake martial soul, leaving only 20%. With the cultivation of your grandfather's soul dolua, you can suppress it with soul power, and with the bonus of soul bones, your physical fitness is stronger, so you don't have to worry about backlash. And your brother Dugu Heng used another soul bone, the right arm soul bone that has been around for over 9,000 years. Although it may not have the same effect as inheriting soul bones, it still has a 50% effect. Your brother is already 16 years old this year, and his soul power has reached level 45. Alright, Dad, what do you want to say? I know, give the soul bone to my brother. He's already at level 45 now. I'm only at level 10, and I can't absorb soul bones that have been around for nearly 10,000 years now. Dugu Mo looked at his father pretending to be serious, feeling a bit helpless and giving his mother a wink. Alright, brother Xing, take a look at you. Why are you so serious? Let's stop here today and let Xiaomo rest well. Minghan touched Dugu Mo's head and then pulled Dugu Xing out of the courtyard. Sigh, I also want soul bones, but soul bones from 900 years are not something I can absorb now. Also, my big brother, Madaha, if we don't give him soul bones, he should live less than me, tsk tisk tsk. After sighing, Dugu Mo turned around and returned to the room. He closed the doors and windows, sat cross-legged on the bed, and practiced the technique. In fact, when he was just practicing the technique, Dugu Mo felt something unusual in the dantian area. With his eyes tightly closed, Dugu Mo focused his attention and felt carefully. Soon, he felt a small elixir-like object in the elixir field, while following his father's movements just now. The martial soul of the blue-scaled snake emperor also reacted, with a hint of blue-scaled snake venom wandering through various meridians with the operation of the technique, and finally all rushing towards the elixir field, not all pouring into that elixir-like object. This pill-shaped object. Thinking of the plot of seeing the little Dr. Immortal successfully condensing the poison pill before his journey, Dugu Mo thought more and more that this pill-shaped object was the poison pill. Although small, it does exist and is still absorbing the venom of the blue-scale snake. With just a few strokes, Dugu Mo felt a slight increase in his soul power. Even if Dugu Mo felt at ease, then he didn't need to look for soul bones or other detoxification methods anymore. Poison pills were the most perfect. However, it's a bit small. I lifted my clothes and looked at the martial soul imprint on my lower abdomen, feeling the martial soul of the Ernan poison body. Soon, I learned everything about the Ernan poison body martial soul. The evil poison body martial soul comes with its own poison pill upon awakening, and there are also several unique moves of the evil poison body. These should be your own golden fingers. Since that's the case, the Ernan poison body is one's biggest cheat. With the poison of the blue-scale snake emperor's martial soul alone, one can continuously nourish the poison pill. Think about the days ahead. The future is bright, and even if there is no divine position, one can still rely on the poisonous body of misfortune to reach that step, and even further. End of this chapter. Chapter 4. First Soul Ring, Part 1. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The source has no content or has errors. Chapter 5. First Soul Ring, Part 2. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 5. First Soul Ring, Part 2. 500 meters away from the entrance of the Sunset Forest, the guards walked around. Several guards looked at the vehicles in front of them and immediately walked over to salute and register, confirming that the people inside were from the Dugu family. It has been a habit for many years to clear the way. The Dugu family often frequents the Sunset Forest because their research and business require rare medicinal herbs. Only by personally searching can the recipe be avoided from being known. And in this way, it also effectively concealed the trace of Dugu Mo obtaining the first soul ring. After all, according to the information released, Dugu Mo's innate soul power is level 8, and it is impossible for him to cultivate to level 10 in just a few days, which would be suspicious. The carriage entered the Sunset Forest and continued walking for a while. Dugu Dan also kept sensing whether there was anyone around him, confirming that no one was there before getting off with Dugu Mo. Entering the Sunset Forest, while the carriage is on standby, there are hardly any soul beasts around here. As a result, this place has become a parking spot. After searching for about an hour, suddenly, Dugu Mo heard his grandfather say, "Good luck, Xiaomo. Look at this soul beast, how is it? You should have known about the blue water snake. These are the first few soul beasts that our Dugu family chose when obtaining the first soul ring. This one has been around for over 500 years and is close to 600 years old. Your physique has been nurtured by whale glue over the years, so you don't have to worry about the age." "Okay, Grandpa, then it's decided to be it," Dugu Mo nodded and said. "I am also going to become a soul master, and I am quite excited when I think about it." After feeling the aura of the tall man in front of him, the soul beast wanted to sneak away. Looking at the blue water snake that was about to escape, Dugu Dan then used his soul power to easily knock out the blue water snake and handed it to Dugu Mo. Dugu Mo also experienced this kind of thing for the first time. Looking at the soul beast in front of him, he silently said sorry in his heart. He ended the life of the blue water snake with a knife-shaped soul guide. In the blink of an eye, a yellow soul ring appeared above the soul beast. He looked up at his grandfather, and Dugu Mo sat cross-legged. Starting to use soul power to pull the soul ring, in an instant, the soul ring is wrapped around oneself and begins to be absorbed by oneself. After a quarter of an hour, Dugu Mo completed the absorption of the soul ring, and the process went smoothly without any discomfort. The growth of soul power also slowly stopped, and the blue scale snake venom in his body also followed the operation of the technique. Finally, he rushed into the poison pill and felt if it was any different. Sure enough. It was a few laps larger than before, and Dugu Mo happily opened his eyes and breathed a sigh. It was indeed a poison pill. Grandpa, I have absorbed it well. The soul skill is called Blue Scale Red Poison, which increases mental power and attack power by 30%, and speed. Moreover, with the increase of soul power, the effect of the first soul skill can increase by 5% for every additional ring. Dugu Mo said happily. After all, I have finally taken the first step in this world. Who hasn't reached the second stage yet, and the first soul skill has a 30% increase, which can still be increased. This is already a divine skill. However, the matter of the calamity and poison body should continue to be kept confidential. This is related to one's path to becoming a god, and one must be careful and careful again. Good soul skills. It seems that the blue-scaled snake emperor's bonus to soul skills is indeed good. Alright, let's go back. It's getting late. Hearing that his grandson's soul skill was so awesome, Dugu Shan was in a good mood and smiled and returned home with Dugu Mo. After returning home, Dugu Dan realized that he had been overjoyed just now and had not yet tested Xiao Mo's soul power. He then took out the soul power crystal soul guide from his storage and said to Dugu Mo, Xiao Mo, come and test your soul power level. Grandpa forgot about it just now. I saw a flash of light from the soul power crystal soul guide. Drop. Level 14. Level 14. Is it so much more? Xiaoma, have you ever felt unwell or any other abnormalities? Dugu Dan said quickly with a certain look in his eyes. No, Grandpa. Although I haven't absorbed soul rings these days, I feel an increase in soul power while practicing on my own. So after absorbing soul rings, there must be some growth, thanks to whale glue. However, it's still because of my good talent, Grandpa. Dugu Mo pretended to say it as a matter of course. Well, that's right. The blue-scaled snake emperor, who was born with full soul power, doesn't have much family record. Alright, you've been busy all day today. You can go back to your house and rest, and I'll talk to your parents. After Dugu Dan finished speaking, he touched Dugu Mo's white hair and left. Ah, it's all acute. Sure enough, I have the most endurance, and endurance. Dugu Mo bounced his short legs back to his room. Cross-legged, feeling the poison pill absorbing the poison of the blue-scaled snake emperor's martial soul, which is then transformed into nutrients and fed back to oneself. In this way, the Zhou Tian cycle runs through one's body repeatedly. My strength has improved rapidly and steadily. I am really a genius. I don't know how many levels I will have at the age of 12. I can go to Shrek Academy to see. Coming to Dolua World, not going to Shrek Academy to experience the treatment of Shrek's 7 monsters is not satisfying, and based on the previous Soul Master competition, it can be inferred. When I enrolled, it was probably during the Bebe period, so with my talent, by the time Hui Yuhao enrolled, I should have at least achieved a cultivation level of around the 4th ring road. Dugu Mo pondered as he looked at the materials from the soul fighting competition held by the Advanced Soul Masters Academy across the continent. End of this chapter. Chapter 6. 6 years. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 6. 6 years' time has gradually taken away the youthful recklessness, and also gradually precipitated the self-awareness of warmth and coldness. In the exclusive training ground of Count Dugu's mansion, a young man is fighting against his father, from various combat techniques to soul rings and soul skills. Colorful, yes, Dugu Mo will be 12 years old in a few days. Stop and stop, Chamois, that's all for today's training. Haha, you're going to Shrek Academy in a few days. How about it? Are you happy? After all, you have been following the Soul Master competition. Moreover, your grandfather also went to Shrek Academy back then, but due to some reasons, he didn't stay in the inner courtyard and went back home. And your brother is the same. They can only return home because of the blue scale snake martial soul for the current Dugu family. The backlash of the blue scale snake venom will basically manifest during the soul sect period, so after finishing the study at Shrek Outer Court, they will return to the family. Either absorb the family's inherited soul bones and slowly recuperate, or stop improving cultivation and switch to the business world. So Shrek's inner courtyard, they won't go again, but you're different. You absorbed an external soul bone while in the third ring. The rarity of the external soul bone is comparable to that of 100,000 years old soul bone. In this way, you don't need to worry about the poison of the blue scale snake. Hahaha, it's really a blessing from heaven for my Dugu family. The more Dugu Xing spoke, the happier he became. After all, this situation is really the first time. With two children in the family, one inherits the family's soul bone and the other has an external attached soul bone. There is no need to worry about the backlash being too powerful. Dugu Mo looked at his father with some emotion. After all, he really absorbed an external soul bone when he was in the third ring road. However, it's just gone. It's assimilated by the Ernan poison body, More precisely, it's absorbed by the Ernan poison body in poison pill. I can also feel that the Ernan poison body seems to be more stable. I also obtained a soul skill, the perception of misfortune. So, the poison body of misfortune is somewhat similar to the body's martial soul. This absorption is not to awaken the martial soul again, is it? But is it a matter of age that the external soul bones did not allow it to evolve? Forget it, it's all the same. Anyway, any poison is a nutrient for me, and having a soul bone is not important. In addition, considering one's own strength, at the age of almost 12, the soul power cultivation has reached level 41, and I am still very satisfied. After all, until I obtain the external soul bone, my family does not allow me to touch any poison, so the poison pill has been absorbing only the backlash poison produced by the blue scale snake emperor's martial soul. Now it's different. After absorbing external soul bones, soul power will also increase. In addition, being able to contact other toxins will steadily enhance one's own strength. Dugu Mo listed his own strength as follows. Dugu Mo, 11 years old, level 41 soul sect, with a yellow-purple-black soul ring. First soul skill. Blue scale red poison, increases spiritual power and attack speed by 30%. As soul power increases, for every additional ring, the effect of the first soul skill increases by 5%. Second soul skill. Blue scale breathing, shooting a breath containing the poison of the blue scale snake emperor, the power of which is determined by the output of soul power. Third soul skill. Blue scale seal, lock the soul skill, ignore defense, stack 3 seals, instantly numb the opponent. Fourth soul skill. Blue scale maze, group control soul skill, colorless and tasteless, causing people to hallucinate and quickly consume opponents' soul power in the maze, and can also briefly control a person's mind. Combined with the third soul skill, it has tremendous power. My own strength, is not bad. After the protagonist enrolls, it will probably be 3 years later, giving me enough time. Dad, then I'll go prepare. According to your instructions, should I enter the inner courtyard in Shrek? Dugu Mo said. Yes, why not? Your talent can be said to be at the top, and becoming a strong person, the Shrek inner court is very suitable for you to experience, which was decided after our discussion. Because the venom of the blue scale snake does not have such a significant backlash on you, you can focus on your cultivation. Don't you want to go to Shrek? Then you can replace your grandfather and your brother. Complete what they haven't completed, and this is also an opportunity for the Dugu family. After all, we were the first title Dolua that Shrek had, and... End of this chapter. Chapter 7. Enrollment Shrek. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 7 Enrollment Shrek. Another thing is the ice and fire Liangyi eyes in the sunset forest. You often read books in the library, and you should have some understanding of this. It was originally discovered by the ancestor of our Dugu family, Dugu Mo Doluo. It can be considered his home, of course. It's not our Dugu family anymore. However, our ancestors left us an inheritance map, which is also the most important secret of our Dugu family. When you enter the high-level Soul King, we can go to the ice and fire Liangyi Eye to obtain the inheritance of our ancestors. Dugu Xing said seriously. Dad, why me? I'm already talented enough, too much is not enough. Would it be better for Grandpa or Dad to use it for you guys? Dugu Mo questioned and said, having a poisonous body of misfortune is enough, and it seems that there is no fairy grass that I can use for the ice and fire Liangyi eyes. Stupid kid, we still don't know what inheritance is. However, this is indeed a problem, but you should know that your grandfather is already a title Doluo. What about your dad and me? Although we are level 83 sensitive attack type soul fighters, we are already 43 years old. Your mom. Cough cough, your beautiful mother is also just level 79. And your brother, he is also 22 years old. After transferring his own toxin, he is now only at level 58 Soul King, and your talent can be said to be rare in the whole continent. And this inheritance must also be based on the blue scale Snake Emperor's martial soul, so you are the most suitable one, otherwise your grandfather would have gone long ago. Although Dugu Xing was sighing, he could still feel that his father was in Versailles. Because the current Dugu family can be said to be at the peak of nearly hundreds of years. His grandfather Dugu Dan, 62 years old, has already advanced to level 91 and is titled Poisonous Snake. Thanks to the family's long-standing body and soul bones, as long as my grandfather is present, the family will be fine. After all, no one wants to be inexplicably slaughtered, and my parents are also at the level of Soul Dolua Soul Saint. Not to mention me. As long as I have enough time, I can quickly advance to the title. For days later, at the entrance of Count Dugu's mansion, everyone was bidding farewell to Dugu Mo. Xiao Mo, you have gone to Shrek College. You need to take care of yourself, keep up with nutrition, and money is not a problem. If you are not used to living in dormitories, you can go to this place in Shrek City, which is the property of our Dugu family. 2 months later, your second aunt and I will also go there to discuss business. If you need anything, let your second aunt know. Did you hear me? Dugu Yen said grandly. Yes, my second sister likes to run around and run around. However, she's right. Xiaomo, you are the most talented member of our Dugu family, and you must protect yourself. Put away all the soul guides prepared for you, don't be reluctant to use them. Third Uncle Dugu Ming continued. Dad and Mom also gave a lot of advice together. Alright, you guys are so sad. Xiaomo hasn't stopped coming back, and besides, I'm going to deliver Xiaomo. What are you worried about? Dugu Dan couldn't stand this scene and said impatiently. Dad, are you in a hurry to meet your old friend? Yes, Dad, you definitely went to get drunk. There's still something to show off, after all, Xiaomo is so talented. Little bunny talking nonsense about being big. Cough, look for a fight. Shrek City has arrived, and if you look east, you can see Shrek Academy. Because it is built on the immediate plain and covers an extremely vast area, it is more like a city than a college. It truly deserves to be the first Soul Master Academy in the mainland. After walking for a while, I finally arrived at the entrance of Shrek College. It's right there, it looks extraordinary. And my grandfather ran away a few minutes ago. I think I went to find an old friend, but I don't know who it is. As for my grandfather's generation, Yen Xiaozhe. I'm not sure, I don't think so. Walking to the registration office, silently queuing up, it was soon my turn when a senior student said, "Hello, please tell me your name, age, martial soul, and level." "Okay, my name is Dugu Mo, I am 12 years old, with a martial soul of blue scale snake emperor and a level 41 soul sect," Dugu Mo said calmly. "What?" Hiss. How could it be? Times and the people around clearly heard what Dugu Mo had said, including the senior who was preparing to record, and looked at Dugu Mo in shock for a while. After regaining his senses, he immediately took out his soul power crystal soul guide and said, "Junior, this soul guide can measure the specific level of soul power. Don't worry, it's mainly because your soul power is too high, Junior. You have to be careful, don't blame me." End of this chapter. Chapter 8. Fame. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 8 Fame Understanding, Dugu Mo said calmly, then reached out to output soul power onto the crystal, which instantly displayed level 41. At this moment, the people around him looked at Dugu Mo in surprise again. Dugu Mo calmly withdrew his hand, paid the tuition fee, and waited for the senior to record it. "Junior, it's okay. This is your dormitory key, you don't need to test your strength anymore." The senior also expressed some emotion as he just received the message. "Just let this junior student enroll directly. Thinking of my junior martial soul and the surname Dugu, I patiently explained to Dugu Mo. I finally left there. Really, I'm just a level 41 soul sect, low.key and low.key. Is this the dormitory building? Mr. Mu is not here either. The Lord of the Sea God Pavilion is not so idle, probably." Dugu Mo thought to himself. Entering the dormitory building, turn left to the second room 106, open the dormitory building, cough 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 cough, "I'll go, what's the situation? Isn't it just a vacation? Why is there so much dust? Was this room unoccupied before?" Truly speechless. Dugu Mo used his soul power to gather the dust from the dormitory and threw it into the trash can. This was also the result of Dugu Mo's practice of climbing trees and stepping on water. After all, he did not tell his family that they were not afraid of poison at that time. So they don't let themselves practice too fast, to the point where they turn their attention to soul power control. "I'm already a soul master, do I still use a broom? Impossible. It's not windy today. Open the storage soul guide and take out the fresh air soul guide." It has to be said that people in the Sun and Moon Empire are quite good at living. Only by developing soul guides to a certain extent can they become popular in daily life. Turn on the fresh air soul guide and place it on the table, then start making the bed. Take out the blue and white one-piece set that you have already prepared and place it on the left bed. After taking off your shoes, sit cross-legged and meditate. Dong dong dong, hearing someone knocking on the door, Dugu Mo could only withdraw from his meditative state. Walk to the door and unscrew the handle. "Hello, I'm also from room 106, my name is Bebe." The boy with purple hair and pupils in front of me was Bebe from the blue electric Tyrannosaurus Rex family. "Hello, my name is Dugu Mo," Dugu Mo said with a smile. "It's really amazing, a living person. I met a key figure so quickly. Are you the Dugu Mo from the 41st level soul sect?" Bebe was surprised and didn't expect to live in the same dormitory as this one. Of course, he didn't know either. The reason why they shared the same dormitory was arranged by the higher authorities. After all, Dugu Mo's talent was too high, and the fat and water didn't flow out of the field. He had known Bebe long ago. That's right, it's me. I didn't expect the news to spread so quickly, but isn't Shrek the Monster Academy? Don't be so surprised. Dugu Modern said calmly after a moment. There's nothing to say about this, after all, in the future series, at my age, I already have a soul king. Of course, this is because I didn't rely on other poisons to cultivate in the early stage. Too much is too bad. No matter how good my physique is, there must be a degree. Aha, I will also work hard. Did you choose the left side? Ha. Is this a soul guide? It's the first time I've seen this kind of one. Bebe looked at the fresh air soul guide with some novelty. Nowadays, Shrek still relies mainly on soul masters, and soul guides only developed rapidly after the arrival of Huiyuhao. Yes, this is a fresh air soul guide. After all, when I first arrived, this dormitory was covered in dust and there was no wind today, so I used this to make the air better. It's normal if you haven't seen it before. This item was bought by a member of my family from the Sun and Moon Empire. This type of lifestyle soul guide is very convenient. It can save a lot of unnecessary trouble, and as long as a certain amount of soul power is injected, it can be activated for a long time. Dugu Mo explained to Bebe. This thing was brought back by my second aunt. After all, the Sun and Moon Empire is right next to the Heavenly Soul Empire, and there are also frictions in business and many contacts. Moreover, no matter how delicate I was when I was young. End of this chapter. Chapter 9. Level 42. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 9 Level 42. No matter how tender I am, there will still be some differences, so everyone thinks I am precocious, but it is normal for children in this world to mature early, and they don't think much about it. The soul guide that my second aunt bought is indeed convenient, and everyone in the family also loves me very much. After all, Dugu Mo was not very interested in things that ordinary children play with. Apart from reading various books, he also had a hobby of eating delicious food, which led to him gaining a lot of weight during that period. Now, it's hard to see that Dugu Mo is interested in these soul guides, and his family has also told his second aunt. Buy more of these lifestyle soul guides back, and then. The more my family uses these soul guides, the better they feel. To explain, they are so fragrant. Ah! Is it so convenient? Then I will buy it in the future. By the way, Xiaomua, can I call you that? Which class are you from? After reading the soul guide, Bebe turned to Dugu Mo and said. Sure, that's what my family calls it. Which class is it? I haven't seen this yet, I'll go out and see it later, Dugu Mo replied with a smile. Dugu Mo also helped Bebe make the bed, and the two of them came to the front of the teaching building and saw some people gathered in the same place. The two of them glanced at each other and walked towards that direction. They looked at the 4 words on the bulletin board, which read, Division Information. Both of them continued to look down, only to see the names of Dugu Mo and Bebe in the freshman's class. Dugu Mo looked at the class schedule thoughtfully, dormitory after class with Bebe. It was a coincidence, forget it, it would be beneficial for himself anyway. Bebe, I'm going back first. My soul power is about to break through. Dugu Mo felt the fluctuation of his soul power and turned to Bebe. But don't worry, you have a poisonous body in your possession, and every breakthrough is natural and the foundation is solid. Xiaomua, you want to? Okay, then I'll go to the cafeteria to get some food. Can I help you bring one? Bebe originally wanted to say level 42, but when she saw so many people around her, she didn't make a sound. Okay, then I'll trouble you. I just want something lighter, Dugu Mo and Bebe said before returning to their dormitory. On the bed, Dugu Mo sat cross-legged and looked inside at the dantian. The current poison pill was already the size of a ping-pong ball and could be considered fully formed. Immediately activated the technique, with just a bang, I had already advanced to level 42, effortlessly. I continued to meditate for a while before finishing my cultivation. As soon as I opened my eyes, I saw Bebe carefully placing the rice on the table. Bebe is really considerate. Because Dugu Mo has a defensive soul guide on his body, he is not afraid of being disturbed to break through. And the speed of my own breakthrough is very fast, so I don't have much opportunity to disturb you. Ha! Are you awake? Has the breakthrough been completed? So fast, how is this meal? By the way, I'll tell you. In the cafeteria, first-grade students can only stand and eat. Fortunately, I had some connections and just packed it back. I can't figure out why I still have to do this. Bebe was also surprised. After all, she didn't go to the cafeteria in the outer courtyard to eat and didn't know this rule. It's okay, you can bring it back to eat. It took you a lot of effort to bring it out, right? How much does this meal cost? Dugu Mo also thought about it. It seemed like there was such a meal, but Bebe was still impressive. Hee, it's okay. You can treat me to eat next time. Bebe waved her hand and said nonchalantly. Okay, let's start eating then. Dugu Mo didn't show any affectation, and he wasn't short of money. Please come back later. Bebe's background is even stronger than mine, and the two of them didn't care about these things. I ate so well and the food was good, especially this set meal. Xiaoma, would you like to go outside and take a look at the campus? Are you familiar with this place? Although you know Bebe's background information, you shouldn't know this now. Oh, I haven't had a chance to tell you yet. I've been here a few times and stayed here for a long time, so I've become familiar with it, Bebe said, touching the back of her head. Well, then let's go. It's good to take a walk after dinner and get familiar with the campus environment. School starts tomorrow, Dugu Mo nodded and said, not continuing the topic. The two of them walked to the entrance of Shrek College. Looking around, there was a street that could be considered a food street, as well as various other shops. These are all for the convenience of students' living needs. It should be noted that Shrek College has a very competitive environment, so after school, setting up stalls here can help students save time while also balancing work and rest, and relaxing both physically and mentally. End of this chapter. Chapter 10. Not talking about martial virtue. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 10. Not talking about martial virtue. The next day, the alarm clock rang, and the two of them also got up and washed up one after another. That's right, alarm clocks are also soul guides. Anyway, my storage soul guide is a belt, which has 4 storage spaces, each with 50 cubic meters, enough to hold many strange things. For example, the first one is equipped with a life-type soul guide, the second one is equipped with clothing, the third one is equipped with food, and the fourth one is equipped with medicinal herbs and poison. This is what Dugu Mo's storage soul guide contains. After washing up and putting on their white school uniforms, the two of them walked towards the teaching building. As a new student in Class 1, Dugu Mo and Bebe entered together, which was very eye-catching. After all, both of them are handsome guys. Bebe has purple hair and purple pupils, and the blue electric Tyrannosaurus Rex martial soul is naturally noble, while Dugu Mo has white hair and purple pupils, which are characteristics of the non-poison body that cannot be changed. Moreover, the appearance of the Dugu family is quite high. There is also the Dugu family, which can be said to have some connection with the blue electric Tyrannosaurus Rex sect, although there is currently no connection. I think there will be some in the future. Let's go, Xiaoma, where are you sitting? Bebe looked at Xiaoma thinking and pulled him forward. Sit by the window, I like to look outside when I think, Dugu Mo said. Okay, then let's sit here. You sit inside, I'll sit outside. Bebe asked Dugu Mo to enter first, and then he sat down himself. As the students all sat down, the teacher also stepped in and clicked in. Walking up to the podium, he looked at the students below and then paused his gaze on Dugu Mo for a while. Dugu Mo was originally looking out the window, but suddenly felt a gaze. Then he turned his head and saw that although the homeroom teacher was looking at everyone, he would always unintentionally look at himself. He smiled at the homeroom teacher and then withdrew his gaze. The homeroom teacher was stunned for a moment, not expecting to be discovered by Dugu Mo. He truly deserves to be the monster of this class. Alright, Classmates, let me introduce myself. My name is Li Dao, a 64-level Soul Emperor, and I will be your homeroom teacher for the next 6 years. No surprise, I'm all your homeroom teacher. Now everyone starts introducing themselves, with the name, Soul Power, starting from the entrance. The homeroom teacher said. My name is He, a level 21 Soul Master. My name is, level 23, my name is Tangmen, a level 21 Soul Master. Soon it was Bei Bei's turn, and Bei Bei's gaze lingered on Tangmen for a while before standing up and saying. My name is Bei Bei, a level 25 Soul Master. Bei Bei finished his introduction. Dugu Mo immediately stood up and said, My name is Dugu Mo, level 42 Soul Sect. Hiss. Is he Dugu Mo? His strength is so high. By the way, isn't he supposed to be at the 41 level for admission? Alright, quiet, Dugu Mo, did you break through yesterday? The homeroom teacher was also a bit surprised, and just as the school started, she advanced. Yes, Dugu Mo calmly replied. His fourth soul ring absorbed the eternal soul ring. If it weren't for the mandala snake's final burst, causing some energy loss, he wouldn't have only reached level 41. However, the soul ring is still timeless and has impressive power, which is great. Moreover, the venom of the mandala snake is still stored in the soul guide. When I return today, I can start absorbing it and let go of my hands and feet. Great, do you want to take on the position of class monitor? Well, since you've given up, do anyone else want to be the class monitor? Ha! Bei Bei. You have great talent and strength, so if you want, then it's up to you. The homeroom teacher had some regrets that Dugu Mo did not become the class monitor. But when Dugu Mo lifted Bei Bei's hand, it seemed like they were roommates, so they were both similar. As for the reaction on Bei Bei's face. What does it have to do with me? Hee hee. Bei Bei also looked at Dugu Mo with a bewildered expression, as if saying, You have changed. Aren't you gentle? How have you become black inside? You're cheating roommates, you. End of this chapter.